Okay, today I'm making something called Carmelitas. It's an oatmeal base. It's got a filling of caramel and chocolate chips and then more of the oatmeal crumbled over the top. And then you bake it all together. In my bowl I have 2 cups of oatmeal, 1 3/4 cups of flour, 1 1/2 cups of brown sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to blend them all together. And then we're going to add in a cup of melted butter, and that's going to be our base slash topping. And in the saucepan here I have melting together a package of caramels, the little caramel squares. They used to be 14 ounces, now they're only 11 ounces and cost twice as much. And I have a can of sweetened condensed milk. You want to make sure that you have condensed and not evaporated, and that's a 14-ounce can, and you just melt them all together, and that will be our filling as soon as it's melted, and it should be about done by the time I get the base together. So really the easiest way to do this is clean hands. Just mix it all together. Get the brown sugar mixed in, and then we'll add the melted butter to it. And you want a crumbly mixture. It's not going to be cohesive. We'll pour in the melted butter. And I've let that cool a little bit, but it's still warm, so I'm going to start with the spoon till I get it somewhat started, and then we'll go back to the tools you were given. And as I said, you just want to get it all mixed together. It's going to be crumbly. It's going to kind of stay together when you push it, but get it well mixed here. This is, you want to have your oven preheated to 350, and you want to butter a 9x13 baking pan, and we're going to put half of this in the bottom and press it down, and then we'll put the caramel mixture. Actually, I forgot, I'm going to add a cup of walnuts to this. You don't have to, the original recipe doesn't call for it, but we like nuts. So that's
we are nuts.
more or less a cup of chopped walnuts in there. You can use whatever kind of nuts you want, or you can leave them out. So we'll mix those in. Almost forgot them. And then, as I said, we'll put half of this into the 9x13 pan that's been buttered. And I'll be right back. So you just want to do roughly half, and I'm making a mess as always. And just kind of spread it out evenly in your pan as much as you can, and then we're going to press it down. Get into the corners. And as soon as my caramel mixture is melted together, which should only be a couple more minutes, we'll pour that over the top, and then we're going to sprinkle a 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips over that. You can use whatever you want. You can leave them out as well. It's all to taste. And I'll be back in a minute. So you can see the caramel and the condensed milk are all melted together. Oops, there's a little bitty lump. It's alright, he'll melt.
It'll melt in the oven.
Yep. There we go. And you're just going to pour an even layer all over. And my oven's ready. So scrape all the goodies out.
I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, we'll get the majority of it. And just kind of spread it around a little bit. You don't have to worry too much about getting into the corners. It'll get there by itself. I'm all over. You can use white chocolate. You could use butterscotch. These recipes are all pretty much, you can adjust to whatever you like. And then I've just got a 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips. That thing's cut open.
I was wondering.
And we're just going to sprinkle them. You can actually even melt the chocolate chips in with the caramel if you want. But this works just as well. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's homemade. It all tastes good. There's a chocolate chip on the floor for the dogs that they shouldn't have, but...
Yep, the neighbors are shooting. That was a black powder.
Yep, get the dogs going. And then what we're going to do is we'll sprinkle the rest of the crumb mixture just over the top. It does not have to form a complete covering.
Such a vicious dog.
Vicious dogs. Oh, I did a pretty good job of measuring out half of that because we're going to get pretty much full coverage here.
Cool.
So you're just going to kind of press down a little bit on this, and it's going to go into a 350 degree oven. And that's going to bake 20-25 minutes. You want it nice golden brown. And we'll check it at 20 and we'll see you then. Now that is what you want. It's just kind of a nice golden brown, a little more brown around the edges, but you've got some of the lightly browning on the top. That was a total of 25 minutes in my oven at 350. You want to let this cool completely before you try to cut it because the caramel is going to run all over the place and it's scalding hot. So we'll set it aside to cool and then we'll cut it up.